Give it up for our tech team fighting it out in there. I don't know that there's anything more stressful than being the tech guy when things aren't going well, because everybody's looking in the back booth and going, what is going on? Are you okay? Are you going to make it? So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. I am curious, quick poll for all of you. When you do search, so you're going online to search for something, which search browser are you using? I'm curious, how many of you are using Google for your search queries? Where are my Googlers? Okay, what's the other one? Bing, who's using Bing? Anybody using Edge? Okay, and is anybody using chat? Interesting, okay. So artificial intelligence has upended web search, slashing traffic to some sites. Some advice to business marketers, and this is for all of us because we are business to business marketers, using online content to sell, have experts write articles that demonstrate authority and industry knowledge, highlight proprietary data, insight, and analysis that are unique to your company. Try a question and answer format with highly specific questions and strong answers. Use detailed bios. Launch an interactive tool such as a calculator or screener. Update popular articles with fresh information. A way to get seen by chatbots. AI chatbots answer general questions without citations, so avoid generic information. I thought that was pretty interesting because Google, once the reigning king in search, no longer the reigning king in search. How quickly they were pushed off their perch, because when did we start talking about AI in this company? Do you guys remember? I think it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago that I even mentioned ChatGPT for the first time because it was in one of our Kiplinger letters, but I did not even fathom the rate of displacement that it is having on so many different organizations, but also the rate of adoption. How many of you guys feel like you've really adopted AI and you use it almost religiously? Like if ChatGPT went away, you would be in a very bad position. Is anybody in that place? Okay. Yes, yes. Chase, a very enthusiastic hands up, nodding of the head. Yep, okay. Couple of things in the news. Finance. This affects all of us. A worrisome sign of how consumers are doing. Their borrowing fell in May, marking the first decline in consumer credit usage since 2024. The drop was small, and curbing debt is often wise for individual households. Nevertheless, it highlights a broader pullback by consumers as they focus on paying down debt. The decline was heavily driven by a decrease in credit card balances, revolving credit, which include credit cards and other short-term borrowing contracted at an annual rate of 4.6%, a sharp reversal from April's 10.9% rise. The outlook for revolving credit remains weak amid a tightening of lending standards. Non-revolving credit will also continue to cool in the months ahead. Debts like car and student loans expanded by just 1.6% annualized in May versus 3% in April, while delinquency rates for credit cards and auto loans have been elevated recently. Consumers now appear to be actively adjusting to a tighter lending environment by reining in their overall credit usage rather than rapidly accumulating new debt. Now, what does that tell us as an organization? When you hear that, what does that mean? Well, here's what I'll tell you it means. It means that consumers are becoming far more discerning about the things that they're willing to pay money for or invest money into, which means for us to continue to serve our client, we have to do a much better job in elevating the value of what we do brings to them, and how their investment with us is going to make their outcomes, their results significantly better. Because they're weighing everything, they're looking at everything. They're checking Google and Facebook and Trustpilot stats to see if we're a 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's why those things are so critically important, you guys. We have to maintain that level, and service is everything. That's why we need these stories from our successful clients, because we need people to be able to look at those case studies and go, oh, wow, look at what that person did. They don't look much different than me. They don't look much older than me. They don't look much smarter than me. If they can do it, certainly I can do it. Because the greatest form of marketing and advertising is what's called third-party endorsement or testimonial. We got to get these stories, okay? We need clients that are right now going, gee, credit's tight. I don't know what's going to go on the market. Inflation is kind of volatile. The housing market sucks. Interest rates are going to remain where they are. Should I make the investment right now? It seems a little risky. We have to do everything to help them understand it's not risky. The riskiest thing you can do is nothing. That's the riskiest thing you can do. The best thing you can do is invest in something that's proven, which we have those stories, invest in something that works. We've been doing this for 30 years, and invest in a company who genuinely cares about your business. And 77% of repeat clients say they care or that we care about their business. 46% say we care so much they're willing to invest a second time, a third time, a fourth time. So client success is everything. So I want to hear you guys on the phones this week and every week moving forward talking about client success, client experience, what they're doing, what's important to them, what's impactful and meaningful. These are all the things that I want to be hearing. And when you guys get these stories, I want you to just send me a quick Teams message and say, hey Lee, just had a conversation with so-and-so, they're located at this place, they invested on this day, they've done the following. If the story is compelling, we'll dive into it a little deeper. We'll start creating some fresh case studies around it and start pushing it out on all of our social channels so that, again, the star is the client, not Lee Arnold, not the Lee Arnold system. Client's the star. And we're going to start elevating them in that way. Okay, last, rates. Rates have not moved, and my rate guy, here's his commentary on rates and where they are at. Good morning, Lee. No change in rates from last week as inflation continues to be the main driver for pricing. Yemen's Houthis' threat on Saudi Arabia is major, as that channel has been the stabilizing influence on oil supply thus far during the conflict with Iran. Next week's Fed meeting will likely cause volatility. I advise locking loans closing in the next 30 to 45 days. Make it a great week. So next week, July 27th, is the next meeting of the Fed chair. Our predictive markets, remember we talked last week about, what's the name of that site? Kalshi. Our predictive markets on Kalshi are telling us that rates will remain unchanged, and most economists agree with the predictive markets analysis. So that is what we'll continue to see. Okay. One last thing that I thought was interesting, and I only share because it's fun. Spending on weddings continues to climb higher, rising 8% year over year so far in 2026, boosting sales for venues, caterers, florists, and dress sellers. The trend may partly reflect Gen Z preferences for experiences, as that generation accounts for a greater share of marriages, as well as years of inflation and tariffs. Around 2 million couples married in 2025, and the average wedding cost was, any guesses? Too much? More specifically? 40,000, 10,000? 60. Wow, I want to see your wedding videos. That must have been nice. $36,000 is the average cost of a wedding. And for anybody in here who might be a relative of mine that may be getting married in the near future, that I meant $16,000.
If you want to learn more, just click the link below.